and Tobago, the Greater Caribbean, the wider world. It's been a while, but welcome to the Rum Tabletop Shop Talk. Well, the Rum Shop Talk. All you had to forgive me, you know. It's been a while. Having to deal with Fearless. Lord, Father, put up. And this evening, who we have? We have, as always, Dr. ENQUIRER. Good afternoon. Beautiful Miss Lynette. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Me, the native. Hello. Mr. Mysterio in the corner. Always mysterious. And the Fearless just digging up and think what I don't know what to say with this boy. Lord, Father, put a hand. Fearless as usual. Good afternoon, Fearless. Not so fearless, Mr. Brown.
Well, good afternoon to
and we have public. A special guest this evening. She's sitting in the background. Mr. Neil, good afternoon, Mr. Neil. It's a pleasure to have you here. Even though you're not on camera, I'm still saying good afternoon to you. I'm saying good afternoon to Nigeria. I'm saying good afternoon to my friends in Pakistan, in Sri Lanka, the United States of America, and Canada. All who has been Tamara Barker. Good afternoon, sugars.
Yes, and what about those in Vietnam?
Well, the wider world. And I want to say good evening to my Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, this evening.
What are you looking for?
I ain't looking for nothing. I just feel to tell the man good evening. Yeah, like that.
You're looking for something?
I ain't looking for nothing.
How come you saying good evening?
I just feel to tell the Prime Minister good evening this evening. Welcome to the Rum Tabletop Shop Talk.
What?
The Rum Shop Talk. The table rum. Oh, shucks, boy! Right.
Yes, so let's start because the Rum Shop Talk.
Right, the Rum Shop Talk. Thank you, Fearless. You're so kind, Mr. Brown.
So, welcome to season, I think this season 8.
Yeah?
Yes, season 8. So, and while there are those who said that we didn't do some actual tapings for a while. So, no, we did some tapings. We tried to do something and we experimented with it and it worked fairly well. So now we just gonna get some more mics and we'll be going live eventually.
Papa, you.
So
then they go say it's a bunch of drunkards talking.
Well, that's the good thing about it because a bunch of drunkards
they talk the truth.
Not only just the truth, but bring information that is informative and people can learn. Because thank God we have people who, yes, like herd immunity, and those who see us with glasses drinking, we are proud to say that we have now set the trend.
Of course, true.
We have now set the trend. So
and we are talked about as well.
Yes. So without further ado, I have a topic that I want to talk about this week.
Boy, you see that like a vex. Who vex you? Tell me.
Now, there's this man. You see, the Prime Minister said that you over there. And you over there. And you over there.
I'm at arm's length.
So, I don't need to wear the mask. I just follow in my father's footsteps.
Your father?
Yes, that's my father. But, Twiggy just said that she uncle too. Or she grandfather, or she father.
Well, oh gosh.
But
leave Twiggy alone.
I have a but I have a
good afternoon, Twiggy darling, if you're watching.
Well, all the Prime Ministers is Twiggy and father. But
so that was what she auntie?
No, that was she. No, that was she. But nevertheless, I have a serious problem. Now there was this thing in the media with WASA, and that actually made not just the minister look bad, but I think it made the whole of the management and workers at WASA look bad. Now here it is, on 2 occasions, you had a new, I think it's the CEO is?
CEO.
Chief Executive Officer?
Right, he's also chairman of the board.
And chairman of the board.
Anything else?
And anything else?
He's in charge.
He's in charge.
He's the master of everything.
Yeah. He's the next one who does wind up. Wind up and all the companies and them.
Sure.
So like we had one for Petrotrin, we now have one for WASA. But I think he's making some mistakes. some serious mistakes. And I think the minister, who is also a change manager, because he is qualified in that aspect, as well as he's in law and different things, he's looking embarrassed by this particular individual. And to me, I think that there are people in the government who are on these state boards, not government, but who are operating on these state boards that are not carrying out the functions of what the policy that the government is setting out.
So what you're trying to carry out, they're carrying out their own agenda.
Apparently so. But what is your take on it, Dr. Ivan?
Well, if you ask me, it's a simple thing. In every administration, you will always have those who would want to buck the administration, primarily because they have their own agenda. They are not concerned with carrying out the government's policies. They are more concerned in gaining political mileage for whomever they support. I can't say who they support because let's be frank. None of us are born with a stamp behind our neck saying you are PNM or UNC or COP or NAR or ABC or XYZ.
But it has a P.
But I do pee.
Right.
Very often.
But you do pray.
You better.
And I pray very often. But the thing is, there are people in ministries in this country, there are civil servants who does not see it as their need to forward government policies. I can't tell you, I do not know the civil service policies off the bat.
Mysterio should have an idea.
I do have a basic idea, but I do not know it. What I am saying is, maybe it's time. It is time. This government and ministers assigned to the cabinet, this government, with responsibility for various sections of the country, like public utilities, national security, health, education, housing. Maybe it is time to take a closer look at their subordinates.
Time to revamp the whole system and start it afresh.
Well, there are people who I believe, this is my belief and I want to make this abundantly clear.
Abundantly clear.
This is my belief. There are people whose their sole aim at this time is to embarrass the aligned ministers.
But do you think that is because, not only just embarrassment, but do you think that some of them have become obsolete? They're out of tune with the change of how the new system is operated?
Well, I believe complacency is one of the things that affects government's ability to function properly.
Can I say something here when you finish?
When you have people in various ministries who see themselves or they fancy themselves as an icon in that ministry, or they fancy themselves as a person who cannot be removed or will not be removed or indisposable, they have now become complacent. And when complacency sets in, corruptions breed. And when corruption starts to breed, the ministers get headache. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
That's what you're going to say?
That's what I'm going to say about that.
Go ahead, Trisha. Go ahead.
What I want to see from
From the bottom of your hand?
And your husband
From your
bottom.
husband
my
bottom.
husband's bottom too. But on a serious note, what I want to see. Remember, this is a new government. Regardless if it's 1 term, 2 terms that we're in, all right? Remember, we have people from the previous government in those ministries. Listen to what I'm saying before you fly down my throat.
No, you were, I'm trying to understand.
Is it that the people from that were appointed under the former regime that is still working in these ministries and on these boards and thing and stuff, could it be that they are doing the underhandedness and the underliningness to make the minister, to make the government, to make that section look bad?
Well,
if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying, but to me, what you're saying is that because you had a change in government, that there are some people who will still be there from the previous. But it's the same government basically there because they're now there for 10 years. So even though you have a... 6?
2015 to 2021.
15 is 20, you know, 21.
Well, no, they will be going... No, what I'm saying is that they get another 5-year term. So there will be 10 years basically. So sometimes you will have a bond, but right now it's 6, right? But you will have a bond, and the bond may have been put in there from the last administration, but it's the same party. But even though you have them from the last administration, but same party, they may have policies that may not have been completed under the last 10 years. So therefore, they may stay on to continue the work.
No.
And nothing is wrong with that.
No, let me tell you why I say that. When the PNM government came into power in 2015, right? The UNC was the government before.
Yeah.
They had their workers their people in strategic places and certain appointments that could not be moved.
Well, no, not really. Once a government changes, you have, some boards have time limits.
Mr. You understand what I'm saying?
Long time, but you dancing wrong.
Thank you.
No. But
and he's a very good ballerina for his weight, eh?
No, you see, what has happened? If it is
Mr. Fearless, I
Yeah,
am telling you something that I know from experience.
Clearly. Board appointments are made by the new administration.
Yes.
But they are civil service appointments that the government can't change.
Precisely.
Right.
Those people, well, they can't change.
That
This administration has not changed.
did not interfere with it, right?
Because when Cameron then coming in 2010, all who look like PNM or song like PNM or the name song like PNM
were fired.
But the civil service appointments are civil service appointments, which this government has not interfered with. No.
And don't tell me they are retail because I could get a list of names.
The point she is making is that them people who Dr. Rowley air move, giving him a sheriff in the preference. Now, my take on this whole WhatsApp business, coming around for that, is like this. You appoint Dr. Seeley Superman because he's CEO, he's board, chairman of the board, everything. And you give him a mandate because you explain to the country the problem with WhatsApp.
Right.
Give him a mandate. Now he's going to collect outstanding revenue from people in arrest. People was lining up to pay him. These bagger aims, Watson Duke and the next set of bagger aims in the union, open them out and talk a set of entrepreneurs about this and that, really. Politically, the government, the tail between their legs. And the minister go and tell Dr. Seeley, take your time, we don't cut nobody here. But they had, what Dr. Seeley explained when he went on 5.5 was the big arrears and the big accounts he was going behind, not ordinary people who had $200 and things in arrested. What this government do was to catapult, put the tail in between the leg to, when the union and talk, I said that's stupidness. Right? So you can't now come wrong in about 2-3 years time and come back to cut people because people say you are serious.
No, okay.
If you have to fix Wasa, you have to collect arrests.
Let me
He was going after the big accounts.
Let me interject here for one moment, just one moment. While I said I didn't want to speak too much on this thing, yes, the CEO was going after the big accounts. Unfortunately, again, it comes back to what I was saying. They are the underlings, the subordinates, who think that if they go and cut the poor man on the street who is owing $400 and $500, it would embarrass the government. And that is the reason the minister had to intervene. Not one conglomerate, not one big person who owing a lot of money was cut. Every person who was cut,
Or what line up for cutting?
everyone who was cut already, the 60 people who was cut, not one of them
Was anybody else?
hold any. Most of them were men and women of straw who were fighting to make ends meet. And why do you think that the subordinates cut them first? It was a deliberate, bloody attempt
Yes.
to embarrass the bloody government because
And let me tell
She's
you,
reinforcing her point. This is the point she was making.
no, but let me tell you this.
That people
No, but let me
did-
tell you this. While I hear what you're saying with Dr. Seeley, Dr. Seeley would have, in the first blunder that he made, would have been with Watson Duke. When he wrote Watson Duke without going to the legal department. Now, here it is, the minister on TV talking one thing about sending home X amount and doing transformation of WASA, and Dr. Seeley doing his own thing as the
But they put in
CEO
charge of
chairman.
everything. Remember doing your
Yes,
thing.
but
You get
yeah,
license to do your own thing.
no, he didn't get license to do his thing because at the end of the day,
You still have to report to the
you
minister.
have to talk
Get
with the
license
minister.
To fix and he's chairman
No, but
before
you
he's
can't
chief
wait.
executive
You
officer,
can't.
Get license.
No, but you
When
can't.
you give me license,
No,
I
but
drive in.
no. I get a license, but with responsibility.
Give me
And
license.
you can't just
Hey,
jump.
if you give me a work and you give me license to take, and then you turn around and tell me, hey, I do okay.
Well, it better do that because let me tell you what you did. Let me tell you what you
Listen,
did.
I play cricket and they give me side to run and then they tell me who to bat and who to bowl. I say, hey, take all the key, you know. I
Nobody.
is not captain.
Nobody.
If I'm captain, you tell me who
But
to
you
bowl and who to
manage.
bat.
Nobody have a selectors.
No, man.
And you are
Yeah,
part
but
of
I
a
can't-
selected team.
No. I on the field, I the hot
No, you are part of a
I
selected
get
team.
full-
The
if I get
chairman
full
and the
reign,
no,
if I get
the
full reign, give me a
chairman,
chance.
the chairman
I
and the
give them back their
CEO,
work.
the chairman slash
Seeley's supposed to
CEO,
give them back their work.
the chairman slash the CEO is not
And I
a
know
one
bad and
man.
bad.
He is not a one man show.
Of course they're
because
one-man
he's
show.
part of a team
Yeah, no
of
team. They're given
executive
full reign to do all
and
kind of
board.
thing.
And if it is that you can't see your boss on the national TV saying one thing, but you there writing and doing something that is unprecedented. You writing to a trade union member, knowing fully well that this man was elected the president of PSA. And automatically it would mean that he has to be given his treatment as what is already settled in the Industrial Relations Act.
There's a conflict of interest.
No, it's not a conflict of interest. Once you are serving under union, you have certain entitlements that is there in terms of agreements between ministries
No,
and leaders.
what I mean by conflict of interest is by Mr. Seeley doing his own thing and the minister is saying something.
But
else.
this one saying,
That's a conflict of interest.
That is a conflict.
So
no,
then-
it's not really a conflict of interest. You know. It means
It's not country.
it is
There's a
conflict.
conflict of interest
But-
because the minister is your boss, right? And you are the person that represents this company, right? My thing is I can be wrong. I stand to be corrected. My thing is before you make any decision,
You have to consult the
you're
minister.
supposed to sit down with your
Damn you.
boss, which is the minister, regardless if it's CEO, CFO, CEO, Sukuni Alaga, who, whatever. It is imperative that for things to run a certain way, that you sit with your minister, who is your boss, and you discuss, boss, I know you tell me do this, but here what? This is the idea that I have. Tell me what you think. That is how I would look at it. That even though they give you full authority, you'd still have a man over you. It's
You
the
have to
minister
work.
over you.
You may have authority, but you still have to work within the terms and reference.
You still have to answer to somebody.
Of course you have to answer
right?
to somebody.
So it is imperative that instead of allowing your minister to be embarrassed on national television, you go to him before, Mr. Minister, I know you give me this is my portfolio, but here what? I think it is safer that we discuss this and come up with a proper solution before any action is taken.
And not only just that, what was not done, you did not even consult your legal team. You see, even though you are given this mandate, and that is the problem in Trinidad and Tobago, no, Romando. That is the problem in Trinidad and Tobago. Because somebody believes that they get their superpowers, that they can do and say what they want, and nobody cannot scrutinize what they are doing.
Yeah, but you must have somebody over you.
No, not just that, but you must go through. You have legal advisors who are there to guide you also, because you also have to look at the legal ramification that will follow, and that is what happened. And then you know what happened? After Duke, then right back the statutory body, which is WASA. They then had to then do what? Forward it to the legal department for guidance. So why do the thing second when it was supposed to be done first? That is one. Exactly. That's just one. Two, you have a man who now comes now and you make a statement, well, everybody had to pay for meters. It's not the cutting only, no. You have to pay for meters. Nobody is saying no. But what are we in? Not a pandemic? If you are in a pandemic, the country is shut down. People are home. Businesses are shut down. It's not about going after the big boys only. Because when you go after the big boys, from the time you make a statement, who does operate first? The man on the ground. Let me be realistic. So when he made that statement of you had to pay $3,000 for a meter, you had to find $3,000, flow done bothering you, this one done bothering you, that one done bothering you. So what the minister had to do? Hey, hold your hand with that boy, we wrong with you, you trying to make me look stupid out.
Okay.
No, they give him a mandate.
You get a mandate, but it's the wrong timing.
When you kick up in the face,
No, it can't.
That's all the government do there, no. They put you out of pasture when they flare up in their face.
No. No, but let me show you the next thing. All right, they didn't.
Government are accustomed to that. This ain't like today. Go back in the history of government.
But you had to take into consideration.
I agree with that. What I'm saying to you, what he did fell within the ambit of the directives and the objectives and the mandate he was given.
And there is no problem.
So when it backfired in the government face,
it can't.
But it just did. That's why they turn around and tell him, hold your hand.
No.
Was it backfired in the face?
Wait. The buying of meters is one thing. When they didn't get
the pandemic talk, you were going along the right line. When it,
right.
All that, so when the union on the side will talk about pandemic, the government realized it started back up in the face.
No, but
so they didn't want that bad press. They didn't want that bad.
But the bad press came out.
Wait, they didn't want that bad political mileage, so they put Celia out to dry. But
no, they didn't put them out to dry. What they had to do was tell him, hey, you know.
But that's exactly what they do. They left him to dry. Hang him up.
No, they didn't hang him up. He hung himself up. No, because as a CEO.
They say he do. So, what's his name? Gonzalez. In the interview.
Gentlemen.
He don't get involved in the daily operations.
And nothing wrong with that.
Gentlemen.
So, in other words, he said he didn't know until he see the press.
And that's what I'm saying. It's only when he done do the thing. No. When he done do the thing. No, I could get a work to do. But you had to be responsible in what you're doing. And that is the problem that we having. And that is why you see, when they don't do the thing, they embarrass the ministers. They're embarrassing the ministers because let's be realistic. Who is your boss? Who is your boss? You have to remember that. You can't jump up in the morning and say because you a Superman and this and Superman and that, and because you get a mandate, all right, you get a mandate. But you have to take in the context that you are in a pandemic. One, two, the pressures that is going on in the country. Three,
pandemic
the government is done under.
People, you know.
Huh? Pandemic is what? The pandemic is what?
This English are talking. Pandemic going on, but theater does cut people like them.
TNT? Who tell you TNT cutting people like Bill?
Yes, TNT
Yeah.
cutting people.
My own
Yeah.
cut.
Yours got?
Yes, and I had to go and pay. But it's a mix up in terms of moving from one apartment to the next.
Well,
But
well
the
then you
fact
can't
is-
blame people for that?
No. The fact
Well,
is,
you can't blame people for that?
no. The point is,
No,
it's a pandemic and they're still cutting.
No, TNT is not cutting. TNT is
Why me
not cutting.
And I get cut.
No, well, you hear what you just said? There was a mix-up.
The mix
So if there was a mix-up because we moved from apartment to apartment, you can't afford TNT for that.
The bill wasn't paid. The point is, the bill wasn't paid and TNT cut.
Gentlemen.
Normal.
Gentlemen.
Well, I
gentlemen.
can't say for that, but I
tell
know.
you,
TNT cutting, believe
So,
you me.
so if TNT cutting,
they have a
and
race
believe
drive
you me,
going on.
Digicel cutting and flow cutting.
No, well, they're private.
Cut me.
They are private. And what the Prime Minister
So why
stated,
was Saki cut?
no, because they are statutory body.
But where's TNT?
No, you have to understand.
No, cut
They
it.
were dead.
You call like the
You have
Chinese
to
man, come back, cut
understand
too much.
something.
Not in China.
they-
No, you have to understand
American
something.
cut.
But let's get back to the
It blow up in the face.
No, it didn't
and
blow up
then
in the
they
face.
go- and they
It
go
did not
to
blow up in the
throw CD under the
face.
bus. Of
What
course it blow
what
up
the
in the face.
minister had to do, was do damage control. Because you see, some people just don't understand that there's something called the emotional side. And you have to have that part as a chairman of a board. You have to understand.
You are walking,
No.
send you to cut.
So you know what you're telling me? You know what you're telling
Send you to
me?
cut.
No, so what you were telling me? Yeah, what you telling me?
They send you
No,
to cut.
but
When you
Romando-
cut, they say, oh God.
No,
the
but
wicked is
Romando-
naughty.
No, but
And you come
Romando.
back and say, Lord, I support the
No.
people, I for the people.
No.
And I tell him, you
No,
post that this is
Romando, hear what you're telling me.
not chance.
Hear what my stereo telling me. That we are in a situation in this country where you have people dying. You have over 700 and
Well,
something
can't give
deaths.
melodrama,
Hold on, no, man, give him melodrama. No, there's over 7. I am not giving you no melodrama. No,
the man was cutting
no,
the
but
big accounts. And as
No, but-
Enviro explained to you, he had aims and them who make sure that they cut little people first to create that in the
well,
last
you have to
government.
remember when he said all this thing.
But
Who
what
has
the
to
government
tell the
do is to turn
mandate?
around and stop it and
Hold on.
left CD
When
to
he
say,
when
CD
he
thing and
makes
he know what he was
no,
doing.
but when he makes
see that?
a statement from the board position, who has to carry the mandate? Not the managers. Not the managers. And if the managers tell the workers, hey, you know, I want you to go and set up cut all them people because the board say to do X, Y, and Z, then you, the manager, is the one who have to carry the mandate.
What Enviro say? Who they cut first?
The poor people.
Right, but that wasn't CD policy.
But the thing about it,
What CD
we
say?
don't know. We don't know.
No.
Hold on, we
What
did
CD
not
What?
see.
No. What Mr.
Hold on,
Seeley
hold
was
on.
going to do.
Hold on.
Listen.
Yes.
What Mr. Seeley, from what I understand, what he was going to do, he was going to go after those with $40,000 and $50,000 in arrears, not the small man.
No, millions, not 40,000.
But I am
Millions.
telling you what I heard.
But let me tell you, it is one thing when a man realizes that he back against a wall, bring the policy and show me the document. And if they can't bring the policy and show me the document, you're on shit. And that is what Seeley did to the government.
Because you
No,
want to
no,
fight
no,
me, eh?
No. That is what Seeley did to the minister.
No,
He
no.
undermined
They
the
gave him a-
minister. He
No, they
undermined
gave him
his
a
own
work to
minister.
do. No, you know at all.
Man, he undermined
No,
the minister
Enviro.
because
No,
he can't
Enviro.
watch. You cannot.
No Enviro.
No, look
No,
at Enviro.
no,
No.
if I ready.
Oh,
Don't fear
sorry.
that.
Fearless.
People,
Fearless,
we are
no.
winding down.
Fearless, no.
We are
You-
winding down.
Apologies.
Excuse me.
Mr. Mysterious,
I am
rather,
very quiet.
Mr.
Humbly,
Mysterious,
humbly
rather
apologize.
heated this evening.
Humbly apologize. No.
No, but you can't watch.
You my work.
No,
And
but
when it-
you can't watch
When-
700.
Gentlemen,
when fire
gentlemen,
is shit
gentlemen,
and others,
for the longest while,
others, that is
I have been very subdued. I've asked for interjection on numerous
I
occasions,
tell you, they heated this
and you
evening,
refuse to allow me to interject.
so you interject. Yep.
So now, I will have to exert my authority.
Four.
The fact remains,
And he's making it abundantly clear.
every board in this country is subject to a line minister. to whom they report. If a board do not wish to report to their line minister, I wish to draw your attention to a situation that existed with my Prime Minister, and I make no apologies for this, and I make it abundantly clear. I had supported my Prime Minister on that issue back then, and for that I was victimized by a previous Prime Minister of my own party. Because when my Prime Minister today protested that a particular CEO was bypassing him as the line minister and reporting to someone else, it created a lot of uproar. But let me say this, and I fear no one. I hold breath for no one. Every member of a board, every chairman of a board must report, and they are subjected to the instructions of their line minister, who gets the instructions from cabinet and ultimately from the Prime Minister.
And we're going to stop right there because we're going to go for part 2. It is heated. Mosquito is jumping out. He's backing Mr. Seeley. But I don't know. There may be more in the mortar than meet the pestle. Why is Mosquito so vocal this afternoon? Backing the man who may be undermining the minister. Stay tuned for part 2. Okay, quick. Nah, next one. Yeah.